looking for this material, I can help you. Hey, you're trying to put that material into the market, I can help you. So we're combining technology and people. And again, that is our approach to a digitization, let's say at light entry, to make it easier. Digital transformation is everywhere. It is in the steel industry as well. That's why we've got these gentlemen over here. I think there could be more of it, right? And I hope that the five of us today are gonna give another push to get there. Just think about that. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot of potential to be more efficient, most of all, and to be catering more for the demands of green steel developments. But I think we are really not there yet. So I want to throw that at you, and I want to tickle your brains a little bit, how we can make that move into digital transformation in the steel industry. And then obviously we've got the Uber part. I mean, classic transportation, there will always be trucks, there will always be trains, there will always be boats to transport. But I believe of how we manage transportation, that will be done differently in the future. And again, all those inputs are what we are taking into building, into having built this platform Rebus, making it available to the industry.
We are a very specialized company. We supply ready-to-use AI technology to the steel industry, and primarily to the steel industry. The reason for that being why we focus on this industry as such is that we have seen many software companies that supply machine learning and artificial intelligence across a various facet of industries, whether it be finance, whether it be logistics. We see that this will not work. So we have a very strategic focus on steel, and we will have this for the next 5 to 10 years primarily, because we need to understand that the process of steel making is quite complex, and we need to have the expert and the domain know-how of steel making. We have service inspection systems after specific process stages of steel making, usually at the casting machine, the hot rolling, the pickling line, and the galvanizing line. The images that are being taken serve as a quality input for our process optimization. So what we're doing is, you see little red rectangles. We are able to classify these defects very precisely using a deep convolutional network. Everybody knows the facial recognition point of view from when you enter your smartphone. This is basically the basic principle that we are applying to the steel industry to classify defects with a very high accuracy.
What does technology mean in terms of offering for steel? So we see these 4 major macro themes: transition towards sustainable energy mix, focus on materials supporting our sustainable future, fusing of technology with physical and people. Most important thing, what was forgotten by Industry 4.0 was the people. So we like to call it Industry 5.0, with people at the core of technology. And this focus is creating what the IBM Institute of Business Value calls the new virtual enterprise, consisting of 6 major pillars. Businesses are increasingly investing, and this is the result of the IBM survey on the CXO platform. 4 times the investment has increased to make partnership outside industry. 4 times investment has increased for partnership within industry, and 2 times to go onto platforms to make business models, things like our friend Andreas has said, and with good results. So this is again a result of a feedback from the CXO service. The ROI is going up to 50% in the market. So when the organizations work together, they share lessons and intellectual property. They can build, replicate, and distribute infrastructure faster and scale it to generate higher value for everyone involved.
Green Steel Standards, Responsible Steel Industry Association, Atlantic Council of Green Steel Corporation, and the Green Hydrogen German UAE Corporation to put some standards in place. And if you don't put the standards in place, then you end up with an isolated solution, such as the X-Carb certificate from ArcelorMittal. And they basically put as a single solution in place. No one else can verify it, no one else can trust it. Does it work further downstream in supply chain? No, of course not, because no one uses same software, same standards. And I think that's a big blocker. Typically, it's a big blocker in terms of digitization, because supply chains, we don't have certificates, yeah? So we don't have, let's say, greenhouse gas certificates, audit certificates, green hydrogen, carbon footprint, provenance certificates. And this needs to be digitized in a way that's verifiable by any other supply chain actor. For that reason, coming back to the previous speakers, it's an ecosystem technology for open ecosystems, where you basically have to agree on some standards. Then you can kind of have verifiable certificates in place that can be verified by any other actors. And if you don't do this, then again, you end up, you have no certificates at scale, you have lack of automation, a lot of paper-based, PDF, email, whatever, SAP to SAP processes. And again, you have a lot of greenwashing opportunities, because you cannot verify the assertions of your counterparties.
So maybe not everyone can see what is this. This is a bottle of beer close to where I live. It's south here of Germany. I know I put up a very religious topic here, as always, but I like this slightly heated up conversation. I would like to start with a little quiz to get you all back into this room slightly before the break. Please imagine the worldwide steel industry. What if it could save 0.1% of the CO2 emissions? My question, you have this picture in your mind. My questions: how many kilometers could an average car drive, emitting the same amount of CO2 saved by saving? I'm looking forward to your guesses. The closest one wins. And now the exciting part comes. Well, I asked the questions: 0.1% of efficiency increase or a CO2 reduction of the steel industry. What is the effect? Again, I wrote this very small so that no one can really follow it up. I made a slight calculation, and I came up with 20 million kilometers saving, or 20 million kilometers which a car could drive, which equals 3,600 cars driving from the North Cape to Gibraltar, which is actually a car queue of 22 kilometers. So a 22-kilometer car queue driving this distance. It's amazing. By 0.1%, it's an amazing part.
I mean, AI is unstoppable, I guess. Just a question. I mean, if the whole world is linked in a normal encrypted scenario, and one country like North Korea has a quantum computer, could that do really big damage, or is that completely something not to worry about?
Hello. See, quantum computing at the moment is, it has got exponential advantage, but the formulation of the problem gates is highly limited. So in no, let's say, practical stretch of time, it's going to completely replace things, but it is going to dramatically augment issues. So at the moment, as I said, a lot of computational fluid dynamics, which is non-linear, they have to be linearized piecewise and then split to get the best results. But the results are phenomenal. Calculations which took up to 3 days are done within seconds. So machine learning is using very judicious split of quantum computing in sectors where it pays to have that sort of a phenomenal advantage.
For Rijboos, what is your business model? Because you have a platform, you have trading. How do you earn money?
That's a good question. So our business model is that we are on the one hand buying from the seller, and we are selling to the buyer, and would have a spread in between those two. Number one. It goes further, more money being made. Secondly, we've got the logistics part. So we have a platform where we combine all logistics providers in the US currently, building the same one in Europe right now. And we will allocate the transportation according to our database that we've got. And then earn a little commission on that part as well. And then the third part is that obviously when we provide terms, so the seller wants to get his money after 5 days, the buyer wants to pay the invoice after 30 days, that we then add a little bit of an interest onto the total invoice.
Picking up data from IoT level, from every valve which opens and closes to let things pass through. As we speak, they are being collected because the regulators, the financiers, everyone is asking for it. So that's why I showed you all these software systems. It picks up from the bowels of so-called level 0, level 1, level 2 systems, aggregates it. What is not available today happens on paper through surveys, but this mass is building up. So down the line, people will feed him data or to anyone else who pays money for it.
One question for Lucas. Lucas, I thought you had a very nice presentation, very clear to me, but it is from the steel. I missed a little bit the blast furnace and before. Are you also involved in that area?
That's a very good question. As of now, this is an area where we are wanting to go. We have first proof of concepts in the industry, but when we talk about our AI applications that are currently in the market, it doesn't exist per se that is being deployed into the industry. So as of now, it's a proof of concept that we're working with. So yeah, we're happy to extend our product platform into that area. Absolutely. We actually had some good talks here today and yesterday about possible synergies with some suppliers. Yes.
I would like to ask a more general question, maybe to everyone sitting here in the front line. All of you, including me, is working on establishing a new technology, a new approach into a very old industry. The steel industry has been planning for decades. Blast furnaces have been built for 80 years or something, and now the steel industry is under a massive change and astonishing speed. Does it help your business, or is this uncertainty making it more difficult?
So maybe it's a very good question, and to answer it, our experience is that the current challenges that are in the industry are actually helping us quite heavily, to be honest. Because the old experts are not going to be there forever, but there's going to be younger ones. So there is a new idea, a new mindset when it comes to steel making. And secondly, of all the challenges that are in the industry are, of course, open the floor for new technologies, new innovations, new ideas to actually tackle these challenges. So from our point of view, the industry is very open to talk about these innovations, very open to do first proof of concepts, very open to discuss this specifically when it comes to process optimization. So
similar from a different field, perhaps. I mean, since we started looking into Europe by the beginning of the year, the steel price has developed very strongly into one direction. And you could think, wow, that's not a good start, yeah, to build up a presence in Europe here. In actual fact, what we notice is that the volatility, uncertainty in the market is actually helping our solution tremendously. I mentioned the adoption rate. Right now, hardly anybody wants to commit on buying large amounts of material. So, but nevertheless, I mean, we haven't shut down production, have we? There's still stuff happening. So we've got a ton of customers that approach us and they say, look, we don't want to buy the normal volume that we've bought in the past, but we want to buy one particular lot that we need to finish that order that we've got. And that is helping us tremendously right now. And the market pressure, the difficulty in the market is helping us in the adoption. I'm pretty sure that many of those guys would have never voluntarily signed up for a digital solution, but now that they feel the pressure, they come and actively approach us to help out there. So as tough as it sounds, but the circumstance that we're currently under, I think are helping adaptation into digital. And perhaps